Yo, what's up, everyone? What the hell happened? I took literally one day off and I come back. The world is in shambles. The destruction warlocks are dead. Rest in peace, boys. And what else? All right, let's get this going. So, just as a small preface, I am looking forward to starting to do some of these, I don't know, reactionary videos or just having some of those discussions on my YouTube channel and on my I'm kind of having them on my stream, but yeah, I'm looking to making some of these as videos in the future, considering that I will have a lot more free time during the summer. So yeah, here goes nothing. I want to see what you guys think about those, and if you have any tips or ideas that I need to cover to improve or to make these videos better, yeah, just let me know in the comments. And without any further, ado, what's up? Let's see. First set. Blasphemy no longer works, no longer grants Reign of Chaos. Okay. Let's get the screen away. I could actually, what, guys? I could probably. No, let's stick to with Destro, then talk a little bit of demo and maybe a little bit of AF afterwards, and I'll take it from there. Okay. So basically, I think at some point on the pre-patch or whatever, before season 3, the set or the tier set, whatever, it wasn't interacting with this talent, and that sucked big time. And they kind of went back, they made it so that it works, and now obviously this change basically reverts this back to the state when it didn't. And so here's the thing, yeah, you press this, you get this, bam, you get rain proc. And obviously any shard that you spend during this window, it can summon an inferno. That's the that's the big deal. And this will obviously loop into the shard feeding kind of fiesta where you just get infinite shards, which would grant you infinite CDR and a very unfair amount of AoE, basically. Like, this is a little more, real, but basically it's gonna look like something like this. And that's unfair. I suspect I have a lot of shade damage. It's probably unfair to look at it like this. Shades, yep, I have pretty much, let's say, 3 million damage out of my overalls is shades, but it's also CDR. And then that directly fits into you doing more damage, which, this week is a little bit of an outlier, but it's well known that you're doing more damage than every other spec in the game right now in AoE. And I am not mad about this change, in all honesty. Like, the only thing that people get to be mad about, or at least I can say that I'm disappointed about, is the fact that the raid took such a long time that I'm just about, we just started re-clearing and I started getting some of my good pieces here. I finally got the sigil. I got this one as well, like a nice belt. But yeah, I got this one as well, which was also pretty insane. And some of these items, obviously, I could not have when the best pushing weeks were happening. And if you're not one of the 50, maybe, I don't know, 60, let's round it up and say top 100 guilds. I'm sorry about that. Just people asking me to play with them, but I gotta shoot some, YouTube videos for you boys. So basically, yeah, it does suck a little bit. Like that's something that people get to be upset about, but getting nerfed, yeah, like that one was coming. And I was suspecting this was going to happen after the MDI qualifiers, which was a couple months ago. And it does suck with the timing. Like, I'll be honest with you, the timing of this nerf is absolutely, it couldn't be worse. Like, there is no way this can be worse. So that aside, I don't know what to tell you, boss. We're gonna go from best I expect to probably third, I think. I feel like just, I had like a few minutes of just looking at it. Like, the thing is, we're gonna do the same damage in AoE, but there are a lot of specs that do the same damage in AoE as us, yeah? Where we pull ahead is after the 20 seconds of cooldowns are done, we continuously do damage in AoE. That's the thing, yeah? another thing that like makes us Gambit is a very good example. Like on that first poll, I need to probably like I should have been a little more prepared for that. Like I could have put like a video, like showcasing the fact that even rogues, like I'm sure I did this queue with Zuko somewhere. No, these are cheats, but doesn't matter, I suppose. Like point is, like the boy, especially in Gambit, like a lot of rogue specs are doing like giga damage on the first pulls. It's just after 20 seconds, 25 seconds of the pull, that's where we pull ahead over DHs, over hunters, rogues, monks. It's after those 20-30 seconds of the pull that we start to pull ahead because they don't have the sustain there with that Destro has. And whether that's fair or not, I don't know. Like I'm not one making these changes at Blizzard, but this definitely, if anything, to give feedback back, kind of. It should happen earlier in the patch. Like you cannot have like 70% of the season. I'm pretty sure it's done. Like we probably have 1 or 2 good push weeks left, and the tier has been like basically 3 months. Yeah, I'm gonna rank 100 to 150 rank world guild basically, and we're just about starting to be clear. Obviously, we had some roster issues. Some people wanted to take a break, but like, come on, man. Like this is. I'm not upset. I'll just go back and play demo. I'll get to that in a moment. I'm actually happy about the change, kind of, but I'm also sad about the fact that I will not get to compete with other people and other players with the same gear. That's a little bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. Now, obviously, I guess as a good segue, moving on to next week, it's a week that it didn't bother me much when I played Destro because Demo literally plays directly against these affixes, and the affixes, this affix especially, fucks. I'm sorry about cussing, but yeah, like just how I speak. So I hope you guys are kind of used to it by now. But yeah, quaking is a big no-no when you want to do. You know, obviously you can still do demo keys on quaking, but it's just so annoying when you have to, you know, set up torrents and you like it's so precision based that you need to torrent at a specific point to extend your pets and, you know, make use of that. But I guess we'll find out how it's gonna feel next week. I mean, we might play a few off keys, but yeah. Boss string is another one. Like you're directly playing against the affixes demo because you're kind of. Let's just transition to demo talk then. Like, obviously, I don't know. Did I forget anything about the Destro? Quick. There's some single target buffs. I don't think that an actual buff because as soon as like just giving me my thoughts on that. As soon as you proc an Inferno, your single target was pretty insane. And let's see. Actually, that's a good thing that I should have shown on the video. So we're gonna delay the demo talk. Here's a single target. That's Kyrian Destro, obviously, but. Oh no, that's Ventir, never mind, that's Ventir one. Kyrian was this key, and that's Puck, by the way. I just did these 28, 29 keys with some Pucks. Look at that single target. Like, this is absolutely unfair, kind of, to everybody else, but yeah. Where is Reign of... Okay, so we're walking into this pretty sure with Reign of Chaos already pre-stacked, so you can imagine that you just get so many shards that you can just keep on sending Chaos bolts. And here's what I have probably, like... They could have done. Obviously, that's one way to just, you know, absolutely demolish Destro, but they should have played around with this talent a lot more than, like, in my mind, fucking with the interaction of your toolkit, because the tier set and this talent are directly intertwined with how the spec works now, and you taking this away, I'm sure it feels bad to a lot of people. Me personally, I was not a fan of Destro anyway, but. Like, it is what it is, yeah. But there were other things that can touch here. Like, they played around with this talent. They still was not enough. Although it definitely was felt like it required people to actually play the spec properly, you know, set up some, you know, some shards, some emulates, you know, keep some of those up. Like, it definitely forced people to just not press rain after the press Inferno, because, you know, you just run out of shards, so you had to play around a little bit with it. I think that's another talent they could have looked into, just adjusting. Maybe have it to 10%, maybe, you know, I don't know what else. have some set limit of how much CDR you can get. Like they could have, obviously that was done during alpha. They could have made this to 1 second instead of 1.5. Like there are a lot of things, like other things they could have done to make this nerf like not kill the spec. But even after the nerfs, I don't think we're like, obviously we're gonna go somewhere below these 2 specs, and then like, do you really need 3 AoE specs? You might just get a rogue in there, or I don't know what else, maybe a DH for the single target, because I don't think we're going to do more single targets. Or, as I was mentioning, we might just bring the demonology. But there is a very immediate issue that I have with this. But I actually have not played too many keys. Like I've played a couple here and there as demo, just having fun, and I have not been able to compare some of the funneling that you can do or pure single target damage against rogues. But I'm still sure, even after the decon nerfs, that Demo is still a very good spec at just blasting off single targets, especially considering that you're just gonna fit in to the same spot, kind of. And this one is probably a PI, so a priest, I'm sorry, and Kappa. And Demo is gonna fit very well into that team of classes and specs. However, if we take this, for example, I would much rather bring a monk here instead of my spot if I'm a group, and I'll tell you why. Because monks, they bring more utility than us. Like all we brought was damage, and now we're not going to bring damage. Yeah, we had an imp here and there being helpful, but teams have done most of the keys without imps. Yeah. For a couple of seasons now, so that was not like the biggest utility. It definitely helped them. And I can see again, like now, okay, we're gonna bring them. We might have to play imp here and there. That's gonna suck a little bit for a single target damage output. But like, considering how the season is going, here this comp, obviously we had a necro H-pow here, but usually that would be a priest, and yes, they can go necro, but it's not ideal. Bringing a monk instead of a warlock here, it makes a lot more smooth, and a spell disease. Yeah, obviously just that's a priest, they still bring it, but I don't know, just I feel like monks just deal better with some things. You know, they have instant stun, they have, you know, ring, disease, as I said, incap, not incap, but it's incap, I'm sorry, I was thinking about DH cages, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know, don't see about it. Long story short, do we go to playing Demo next season, next reset? Maybe. I will definitely be playing a lot more Demo now, that's for sure. But don't expect, I think like people are very salty about this change. I don't know why. Like this was due for a long time. It sucks that it's coming now, and it sucks for many different reasons, and it sucks for MDI competitors. But for your weekly 15s, oh my god, people, come on! I have read some takes now that I had a day on Twitter about how I will say this though, like it's a community issue that people are not bringing off meta specs in 15, 16s, and 20 keys. Like absolutely every spec and time, anything up to 26 at the moment, maybe on 27. We're about to find out next week, yeah. But I've definitely done 27 and 6s off, and I think I have a couple of demo keys. I have to double check, but it doesn't really matter. Like I'm sure I can complete most of the keys on 27 as demo, 28 even. Regardless, let's talk demo for a moment here. What are we strong in? Like, what do we bring? We bring very tanky, like so much tankiness. That's good, and nothing else, kind of. We bring a pseudo kick, which is not that good. It's basically a stun, and it's one stun. Like, if you compare us to Rockwood, like the damage profile that we're gonna fill in right now as demo is probably going to be Rogue's profile, and if there is a requirement for a lot of kicks and stops, oh my, it's gonna be such. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit such. Other than that, I don't know, like nothing too major. Like we don't have any major, at least in my eyes, any major utility. Like, we break some cookies, but as I said, people have done keys without cookies. We are dwarfs now, so some of those diseases and poisons and dispels and decurses, as I said, are not that difficult to deal with. Now I'm gonna mention another issue right away that people are probably glancing over. Some of those metacombs, let's say this one, because that's basically the echo comp, and they have a priest here. They don't have a vent here in this group, and usually the Destro went and played Destro. I mean, this is still possible, and Destro is actually a good candidate in that regard to still be meta, because Vintage Destro actually does very good, decent damage outside of Infernal CDs. I did not mention this, but basically this change makes you so that you don't have damage for every pack, yeah? That was the whole thing. The whole shebang is that you get to have this. Okay, wait, that's the boss fight, I think. Yeah, it's boss fight. Trash fight, there you go. 97% of time. Now probably the 3% that I'm missing from when I'm mounting up before the first pull, yeah? So yeah, like this is not going to exist anymore because you cannot extend this window. Regardless, I do see a problem here with the covenants. Like, I mean, you can probably take, as I said, Ventress Rogue, mages. I don't know, maybe. Oh, fuck me, bro. Enhancement shamans, maybe? I don't know. I don't think so. But there is definitely a very quick gap that must be filled by a spec starting next week when it comes to Venture keys. Necro, not so much, as I said. Like, yeah, that's, not ideal, but DKs are like, they don't want to go Necro, but if there's nobody else in the group, they probably will. And, priests are pretty well at handling that one. Well, not ideal, but they'll do it. Night Phase, that's a good one. I don't think there are that many Night Phase right now. Obviously mages. Eli Shamans, but the Eli is like so of the meta. I don't know about DKs. But, long story short, we're definitely going to be bumped to like 30 AoE specs, so with that in mind, I don't know, we'll see about that one. Speaking Demo though, we bring Funnel. That's pretty much it. And actually what Demo is good about, especially with this build here, is you have damage outside of your cooldowns. Like your damage profile is in M+ is Implosion and Dogs and Spite. That's it. The Tyrant is your fourth biggest contributor. Almost, yeah. So Tyrant is not that impressive, but it still does funnel into a target very well. So we're gonna have some funnel here and there. The build, I still presume this will be the premier build in terms of demo. Like I haven't played around a little bit, like for a hot minute here with the specs, but where is that thing though? I reckon this could see some play just as a consistent like contributor in AoE and single target. But like speaking single target, Rogues definitely do better than us. DH definitely better than us, better than Destro, I mean. And after the changes, absolutely, because the only way we competed with them was with Inferno procs, which is no longer the case. And unless they make I don't know, give Chaos Balls like 20% damage increase, it's not happening. This one probably a good contributor in that regard. Nothing else. This one is very bad in M+. I'm sorry, this one. It's absolutely terrible in M+, unfortunately. Because Tyrant is not doing any damage, basically. Now, speaking of single target, there is a spec that I've played not now, but a few weeks back in M+, and it absolutely smoked DH on single target, which was Affliction Warlock. I played it as Night Fae, but Affliction Warlock Malefic Craft build is what I played. I'll tell you this much, it sucked in AoE, it sucked ass. But I definitely was smoking basically at the time the best single target spec, which is Ventir DH. I was smoking it, yeah. There are a couple of things that contribute to that one, and I'll give you a quick preview because I didn't want this video to be this long, but yeah, I'm just having fun, talking about it. So there are a few things that can happen with that, build. And although I don't like it, this definitely does bring single target very mediocre AoE, but single target insane. And this one you get to kind of almost back to back cast it. And whenever Nightfall Priest is a thing, like you get to basically cast this like back to back to back, kind of almost, depending on some of the pools. But yeah, this build decent, but not impressive, man. It's like literally doing season 2 AoE. And yeah, after that, falls off a little bit. It's extremely mediocre single target. I don't know if that could be, you know, a place where we live in. I don't know, like something like this. Probably this because it's still funneling. I don't know, it's very hard to say right now. I'm excited to, you know, play around with some of those builds, but actually you can't see it what I'm showing. Yeah, I'm sorry about that one. So basically, affliction abilities, you know, as always, like when a spec is behind, they just slap the duct tape on it. It's very embarrassing, to be honest. Like, coming from Dota background, I wish they did something better with this, but whatever. I was talking about this, basically. So, Season 2 build, very mediocre. Both, you know, we and single target, we could play something like this, but it's still terrible. I was talking about Phantom Singularity with Nightfall Priest. You get to cast this back to back, so your single target is actually very, very insane. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, it's actually amazing. And yeah, obviously I had a day now, but I was already like impressed with Nightfall single target. Now, pretty sure Necro Affliction is going to be a thing for the raid. I don't know about 10 plus, but I don't know, what can we cook? Like something like, it's so bad, man. It's just so bad. It's so mediocre, yeah. It's just mediocre. Like the immediate gap will be Ventir, yeah. And I think Affliction Ventir is not that bad, to be honest. Like I've played keys with it on stream. It was fine, but nowhere near those two specs. So, and there is, as I said, there is a gap here that we need to be filled right away by either Necro. Oh, actually, that's a good point, though. Like now coming to think of it, I think Affliction could fill both Ventir and Necro. Like Demo cannot, but Aff definitely can fill that gap. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see what next week brings, yeah. But that will be pretty much for me for that video. I am excited to try and make some of like more of these in the future and expand a little bit on the content that I'm creating. So I'll be happy if you guys give me some feedback. And yeah, other than that, I'll see you on my stream. You can find that in the links below. And we can, yeah, excited to see what the next week brings. Don't be too upset about the Destro change. You know, it might still be reverted, which I'm like almost 70% maybe sure it will, because the timing of it, it's so terrible that, yeah, I don't know. Like this should have happened before the patch even released, but it is what it is. So, all right, I'll send you off now, and I'll see you on my stream or in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and take care, boys. See ya.